Well, good evening, all my little yotes and yips. It is Pixie here with you tonight, and well, I'm wearing something a little green and something a little pink. Probably by now I'll have uploaded the video of Baby Bop in a pink dress, feather boa, and puffy sleeves, and I just recorded that. But she's a little harder to talk in long term, um, partly because she doesn't have quite as good of a airflow in the mouthy area. So I switch over to somebody who I can, well, breathe and talk in a little easier. So Pixie is being a green dinosaur, coyote, something like that. Anyway, this is a Game Thoughts video, specifically one I bought after having gotten some recommendations for it when it was new. That is Bravely Default. So, Bravely Default. This was a whirlwind fun game, one I was not expecting to be even close to as good as it was. Good way to look at this. If you were a big fan of earlier Final Fantasy games, like 1 through 6 area, this game has you in. Really, it has pretty much all the same classes that those games did, and all of your characters can potentially be any one of them at any given time once you've acquired the class. So you don't just immediately start off with the ability to be and do everything. No. However, every so often you run into a boss fight type level, which is against one of the classes. And once you defeat said class character, you now have that character type unlocked. So you can then change your character into that class. And you have, I believe it was 4 characters in your team, and they can be any particular job you want them to be at that time. And the longer you're staying at a job, the better you get at it. And of course, then you can use appropriate equipment for said job and be a better whatever that thing is. This is a lot of fun. The main part of the story is great. The process of unlocking all of these characters is intense. The world is huge. It's a really big RPG, Final Fantasy-esque type planet, along with all of your basic transport functions. So you can really feel the Final Fantasy vibes here. The old school, sprite-based combat style. It is there. It is ready for you to be enjoyed. And lots of grinding potential if you so choose to. Lots of leveling up. And going through everybody's little bits of story. Going through sometimes the stories of the character types as you're beating up their arc unit, the one that you steal the class from, effectively. Fixing little plot points throughout the world, save this person, kill this thing, etc., etc. So much random weird story that you wouldn't necessarily expect you were going to get out of a game, but you get it. Now, I first played it initially as a downloadable demo, an actual demo of a game. I know, what a concept, getting to try a game before you actually buy it. So, it's a really short demo. It starts you off with several characters and several classes in kind of a fixed scenario. It's not like an actual part of the game, so they didn't spoil story plot here. They did have you at a location at one of the towns, and a short basically a go fetch kill quest kind of thing. I think it was that was the preview function. You go, you do the thing, and you get to enjoy the function of the game. So that was pretty cool. You start off by getting to actually play the game before you own it. Uh, and it sold me so hard. A friend had told me to go download the free thing. I downloaded the free thing. I tried the free thing. I bought the whole game. In fact, both Autumn and I own a copy of this because we were playing it next to each other, uh, going through the story at the same time. It is that good that we actually aren't mad we bought two copies of. Uh, it is intense. I loved it until I know I had to come with a bad part here. The very end. Spoiler alert here, so if you don't want to spoil the end of the game, this is where you can stop playing, and I will not be offended. Okay. 3, 2, 1. That's long enough. Someone wants to stop the video. They put their sandwich down, hit stop. Okay. So, at the end of the game, I stopped basically where I considered I actually finished it. I beat the bosses effectively, and now the world is kind of in a time loop. And you have to go and just beat the bosses over and over and over again. I don't know if there was actually an end to this process, but I went through several cycles of killing everybody again. And I was like, okay, are we done yet? I feel done. I feel like I've done it. I feel like I have gotten there. So that's where I stopped. But I definitely got my gameplay out of the game itself. Um, but yeah, uh, definitely. If you really love that kind of old style RPG, people on one side, monster on the other side, select attacks and things, this is totes you. The job system was so well executed. I loved how that went. Especially the fact that it didn't just start you off with all the bestest things, and maybe you say got fighter early on, and later on you got like knight or paladin or something, and you got the better stuff as you went through and more interesting stuff. So it gave you time to stop and enjoy the character types, and then go try a new one, try the next thing, go for it, go further, have more fun. Uh, yeah, I can't really say too much bad about this game except for the very end. And honestly, it felt like they ran out of time and money kind of situation. I'm not sure if that's the case. I know a lot of times that can happen on a game. I know it happened to Borderlands 1. I know it happened to Brutal Legend. I feel bad when that happens because if a game I'm really enjoying has a stop, it really kind of it ends on a sad note. I feel done, not like I feel like I finished. But well, I can't really blame too much on that. I enjoyed the game as a whole. I enjoyed everything I did play in the actual game. I enjoyed all of the levels. I enjoyed all the dungeons and the buildings and the towns and the people. I actually enjoyed talking to these stupid people. I usually just kind of skip through that in these kind of games. I actually enjoyed the conversation parts for once. Uh, but yeah, this is one of the most thought out, most quality Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 style games I have ever played. Uh, I remember, I've heard 5 is where the best job system uh, style came out of. I know 2 actually had a pretty good setup, but it had some flaws in the process. That understood. I'm okay with that. Uh, but yeah, this really got into that, and it made it something you want to do. It made you want to do things. Uh, Also, you had a option of doing multiple attacks at once, or you could save your attacks and do a bigger attack in 4 turns. or you could stack and defend, or you could. So you didn't always have to just try and maul it out in one run. You could hold back for a round defending and then have even more attack on the second round. It was intensely fun. It made you actually care. Uh, if you have a 3DS and you can find this one and you like RPGs, please pick it up. Have fun. I know you'll probably enjoy it if that's your kind of game. I'm just sitting here talking about it, making me think I should plug in my 3DS and sit there and play this next week. And I might. I actually might. The game is not actually in the box here. Um, I don't actually store my 3DS games in their little cases. I keep the cases, mind you. I store them in a card holder thingy, like just a little cartridge slot board, because it's a lot easier to take with me when I'm going on trips or whatever. I can just pick up the stack of the thing of game cards and stick it in my bag. So it's convenience. Dad and I am effectively bringing this giant stack of games with me wherever I go. And if I ever say wanted to, dog forbid, sell my games, I do have the cases still in the cabinet. Assuming the game came with one, I do have a couple games I got used that didn't have a case, period. And one or two that came with a, plain black case with no information on it. So, that's life. Can't win them all, can you? But hey, that's the thing. So yeah, if you get a chance, do it. So in the comments, if you played this game, or if you thought about it, or if you heard about it, let me know what your experiences were. Did you even just download the free demo? I'm not sure if it's still up there on the 3DS store or not, but if it is, give it a shot. Nothing to lose there. It's free. Uh, and of course, the game is probably not too bad on the used market. There were a lot of copies out there, and well, I got both copies brand new, so uh, back when it first was released. That was several years ago at this point. But yeah, that's my take. Uh, Hope you enjoyed. Definitely thank you for spending your time with me. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. That little dinkly bell. It'll let you know when I post new videos about stupid stuff like games that you probably never heard of. Uh, um, and Patreon link is in the description below. If you have a desire to support the channel, I definitely appreciate every penny. And I use it to buy stupid stuff like baby Bach costumes, or feather boas, or Legos, or camera equipment, or audio equipment, or lighting. I do need to buy more lighting. I'll put that on my shopping list. I'll see about getting another light bulb. I'm at the store next weekend. Anyway, I appreciate every single fluff for watching, and I hope you have a pink, fluffy rest of your day. Pixie appreciates you. Bye-bye.